What's up YouTube, and welcome to episode 109 of the Chaos Daily. Yeah, you may or may not have noticed that there's been a couple of days where I haven't uploaded. And this 109 is not in sequence with the days of the year anymore because I missed a day. I missed 2 days. I missed, what are we, 3, 4, I lost count. Anyways, I had to take a break. There's a lot of things I'm trying to work out and sort of get sorted out in my head, as well as regarding this and the new channel. Doing the dailies every day, like, it's something I enjoy that I've been doing, but when there's no content, it doesn't make sense for me to just make a video to say, here is another day of the week, or just checking a box for the sake of checking a box, and that's not going to work. Also, I feel like I've reached a point where I've gotten much better at editing and everything with these dailies, that I can actually improve the content for the new channel. And doing these dailies, I'm sort of just using it, okay, well, I got the daily done. I'm using that as an excuse to not then still work on an episode for the other channel. Getting the first episode of the Albatross build out, for instance. Trying to work out how to tell that story in a video format, what jokes or gimmicks are used, like how do I want to put that together? How is it going to look? I'm still trying to work that sort of stuff out. It's something I don't have any experience with. I mean, these dailies are great. Like, I've been doing these, you guys watch them. It's always the same guys watching. I love you guys, you're awesome. I'm not too worried about the view counts and everything anymore. I'm just doing this to do it, to get better and see where it goes and leave it up to that. But I need to make some changes fundamentally with the way that I produce these videos, especially for this channel as well as for the other channel. Stepping back from doing a video every day, I think makes a lot of sense now that I've gotten much better editing and everything, and I know how to go about it. So with that out of the way, yes, I'll still be doing the dailies, but they just won't be every day. The daily will come out when there is an update on what I've been working on and all that sort of stuff. So I've taken a break, but I've still been working on the monogoal. It's progressing nicely. I'm having some issues, but I've done a couple of things. For instance, I printed this cute little model of the monogoal, so I can, have a visual representation of what I'm working on rather than looking at the screen all the time. Now, I'm pretty good with visualizing something on a screen as to how it's going to look and how big it's going to be in the real world. But having these cute little models is awesome. Like, I get to see, you guys get to see now more of the shape and that of it in the real world, and it's cute. So I can then use this to, when I'm talking about the project and go, right, I'm now working on this section, or I'm doing a thing through here or whatever. I've got something that I can show you guys rather than trying to match up, getting video footage of the CAD drawing or whatever and then trying to match it up in a thing. I think this is more cool. It's more physical, it's hands-on, I don't know. Let me know what you guys think. We do have the next part of the monogoal printed. This is the base section. This is heavy. The EDF is heavy itself, but the resin itself is a little bit heavy, but I've built it up to be quite strong because all of the forces are going to be coming through this. This thing puts out 2.7 kilograms of thrust, so yeah, it needs to take it. So I gave a bit of the weight allowance for the whole build in just these two parts. They have 1mm wall thickness around the EDF housing as well as the neck, but the rest of the fuselage is 0.5. Now, there were a couple of issues. There are two holes right here. And these two holes here. Now, you can see inside there maybe where it's all wrecked. There are ribs that run directly through the structure that support the bottom face to the top face, because all of these curvy lines, they're just on the skin. They're just part of the skin. They're only thickness on the skin. So I needed some more stiffeners to hold the top and bottom faces from collapsing. So those are just like regular ribs that you'd see in a regular design of an aircraft. These holes, they run from here through to about here, just past this rib. Now in the CAD, when I made the negative extrusion that cuts the hole through those ribs and through all the other parts of it, it didn't quite work right. So those bulkheads basically were filling up the inside of that hole. So when I went to go put the carbon fiber spar in there, it only went to the first one and stopped. So I thought, okay, no big deal. I can just drill it out. That didn't work. It just blew it out. I think resin got on the inside there, where between the bulkheads, between this one and this one, and then that caused it to actually be solid all the way through. So when I was trying to drill, I thought I was just gonna have to go through the bulkhead, but no, it just went through the whole thing and tore the whole spar channel apart. But all in all, it turns out really well. I'm going to make some modifications to this shroud for the motor housing, but otherwise that turned out really nice. As you can see, the wires, they just barely fit. Like, it's snug. It's super snug. I had to cut the insulation off the female ends for these wires. It can't work as it is right now because there's no insulation between those, so it would short. So I need to print this again anyways to fix those holes. So I'm going to make just a tiny adjustment to this channel, so there's just a little bit more space so I can push this through. And I'm actually tempted to remove the wires from here, solder them off, and put in a custom wiring thing. So there'll be plugs here where I plug this in, and plugs here where I can plug the motor wires in. I'm going to shorten the motor wires as well. They're a bit too long. As you can see, they sort of like, they're all just stuffed in there. They're all kinked up, which isn't good. So a couple changes there to the wiring side of things, not so much changes to the model itself, but we're gonna have to reprint that, which sucks. It's a 27-hour print. But all in all, everything turned out really nice. I'm super happy with it. This thing is gonna be so sexy when it's flying. Just looking at this model, 1.4 meter wingspan. I don't have an estimation on the flying weight yet. Based on the CFD result, it's going to be quite heavy on the wing loading, but because of the thickness of the cord, I should have a pretty wide flight envelope. It should do pretty slow speeds quite nicely. And with the huge amount of thrust this EDF package puts out, and they've designed the airfoil in such a way that at higher speeds, when it creates the laminar detachment for the flow separation over the top side of the wing, it actually, the flow separation region changes the apparent cord shape of the airfoil, which still allows it to produce optimal lift at higher speeds. So it has a dynamic envelope range for the airflow over the top surface of the wing from slow speed all the way to high speed. So that should reduce any kind of flutter or parasitic drag and flow separation at higher speeds towards the end of the wing, which would cause flutter and things like that. We don't want it carrying itself apart in the sky. So the CFD results were really nice for it. I've got very high hopes for this. It should fly really well. I'm just worried about getting the CG just right and what to do with the control surfaces. I'm still hung up on what to do with the control surfaces, how big to make them, how to space them, where to place them, all that sort of stuff. So yeah, we'll leave it there for today's episode, a bit longer than normal, and I'm sorry about not doing the dailies every day anymore, but it's just the way it is. I really need to get my finger out and work on stuff for the new channel. As always, make sure you hit the like button, make sure you subscribe, not up in chaos, and until next time, expect the unexpected, and I will see you guys later.
And a special thank you to all my patrons that help support the channel. If you would also like to support the channel, there's a link in the description.